great because you're really in for a very special lineup tonight. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you my dear friend. You can catch her all over Pittsburgh. Follow her on Instagram after this. She'll show you how. The one, the only, Harriet Riley. Give it up.
Thank you, Kate, and thank you, beautiful people, for coming out on a Friday night, Saturday. She's 30, she knows what day it is. I'm a little bit older, it starts getting fuzzy. But yeah, thank you for coming out and supporting live comedy and great venues like this. We are thrilled to see all of you. It's really exciting looking at all of you. It's genuinely, yes! And also, front row, the last time I promised that no one would be mean to anybody sitting in the front row of the show, there was an incident. So don't hold it against me is what I'm saying. If I skedaddle out the back exit afterwards, don't come looking for me. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am the only child of older parents. So I've always been comfortable standing up in a room full of strangers. And I just had a big birthday. I'm not okay with the number yet, but the way I'm rationalizing it is I am now 3 mammogram years old. Thank you! Thank you! Woo! But it is a terrible birthday present. And they're very difficult to wrap. Lots of awkward corners. The bow never sits straight. I'm also old enough to have car tweezers. And if any of you down the front are not old enough for car tweezers yet, invest in a pair because you never know. You can be absolutely pristine when you leave the mirror. And then you're sitting there at a red light. And you just start, how is there 2 centimeters of chin hair that's sprouted in the last 2 minutes? Car tweezers, purse tweezers, boyfriend's car tweezers. Another way of rationalizing it is I am in my mulch era. Yeah. I was in the show, I said that in the show last week, and the guy sitting in the front row was just like, he was never going to have a mulch era, and that's the thing. No one expects the mulch era. And yet one day you will be walking around your neighborhood and you just start admiring your neighbor's lawn. And there are different colors of mulch. Yeah. Oh! I love this. We've got a youthful mulch person. Let's hear it for mulch girlies. Yes. I'm going for extra fluffy next year, ordering extra bags. Extra volume is very important.
Yeah, girl.
I'm also coming up on the age my mum was when she had me, which is a big thing for me. Like, as a woman, I think that can be a big thing to get your head around. My mum was 42 years old when she had me.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad was 54.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, I know what you're thinking. I was an accident. Which is the worst thing you can tell a teenager? It is mortifying to know that your parents might have been having fun when you were conceived. Trying for a baby implies effort. There's probably timetables, there's temperature measurements. Like at some point it must get boring. But there's a very good chance I was conceived in reverse cowgirl. Frankly, that is nothing a teenager should carry with them through life. I guess what I'm saying is, if you see any parenting books in here tonight, it's okay to lie to your children. There's some things we don't need to know. And my mom always liked to tell me that it was a difficult pregnancy carrying me. She's also fun. She had to give up smoking. The way she tells it, and I do feel a bit sorry for her because for 3 months she thought I was the menopause. And she was quite excited. And then she went to the doctors and went, what? A baby? Stubbed out the cigarette on his desk. And there it was. It was a difficult pregnancy for me as well, to be fair, because I spent 9 months at the mercy of a 42-year-old pelvic floor. So for 9 months, I braced like this. Because one unexpected sneeze, and it would have been over for me. But the thing about geriatric pregnancies, which is the delightful term, oh, that's when you get to 35. Oh yeah, you're geriatric, congratulations. Is the deliveries are really easy. Because you just have to uncross your legs and the baby cannonballs out. I love my mum for these stories. Again, lie to your children, it's fine. We don't need to know. As you can tell from my accent, I am not a native Pittsburgher. I'm from Aliquippa. If you watch enough Downton Abbey, you can sound like this too. But no, I am your friendly neighborhood immigrant. I am the Fox News friendly face of immigration. And I would argue it is harder to get in here than they would have you believe. I had to be married to somebody. It was a big commitment. I know you're all sensible people, but I do, as the Fox News spokesperson, want to clarify that, of course, nobody has been eating your cats and dogs. But if you think about it, illegal hunting and racking up DUIs is just trying to fit in Ohio. But I like to think that I'm fitting in quite well as well. Thank you. I even snagged myself an American partner.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Because we steal husbands as well as jobs. We're not married yet. We have something more important. We share a Giant Eagle account. So we're Yinzer married. Right? And in this economy, I'm not rushing to change that. Like, I'll keep the fuel perks before I start hassling him for a ring. But one of the things I should say I come to this whole process with a ton of privilege. But one of the things that I think is the most frustrating about immigration is the paperwork. And I honestly think that they hope you'll just give up. Or it's your husband or your roommate will come in and just find you buried under a mountain of paperwork, kind of Wicked Witch style. Like, she was just crushed by the weight of bureaucracy. But you have to answer, and some of you might know, and if you don't, good for you. You have to answer so many ridiculous questions. Questions that only an idiot would answer yes to. And for those of you unfamiliar with some of these questions, these are 3 of my favorites, quoted almost directly. Were you a member of the Nazi government in Germany between the years 1939 to 45?
Oh my God.
Are you entering the United States with the intention of committing acts of terror? Who answers yes? I bet you have to hand back your ISIS membership card if you do. Like, you have failed that test, and they are kicking you out. My favorite. Are you coming to the United States of America with the express intention of overthrowing the government by force? I just think it's interesting that they're only asking the foreigners that question. But I did get my green card recently, which was fantastic. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, funny. But it changes a lot. Your status changes from the job stealing, from the lazy immigrant that sits around all day to the job stealing kind. But it allowed me to fulfill a lifelong dream of adopting a dog. Because it is harder to adopt a dog than I thought it was. There were a lot of questions. The reason we decided to adopt was it was the start of the pandemic and we were worried about our mental health and how we were going to cope with lockdown. And everybody says that pets are good for your mental health, right? Are there any pet owners in here? Dogs, cats, lizards, birds. Raise your hands, be proud, pet parents. What they don't tell you is don't adopt something with the same mental health conditions as you. Because it turns out I didn't adopt a dog. I adopted 25 pounds of fear and loathing. She is the E.T. to my Elliot. Have you seen those stickers, those bumper stickers that say who rescued who? They lie. With us, it's who's going to destroy who first. And I knew she was going to come with a few issues, because, rescue pet and all that. And my partner was very, very confident. Said all she needs is training and discipline, babe. Training and discipline. Wow. After 3 weeks of training and discipline, she had chased off 2 very highly rated dog trainers. She had prescriptions for Prozac and puppy weed, which is good for humans too. If your pets are causing you extra anxiety, I recommend it. And she'd been diagnosed as somewhere on the autistic spectrum. Training and discipline, babe. Training and discipline. She's also, because she is the gift that keeps on giving, she's dog aggressive. Which is, generally it's fine because she's 25 pounds, nothing too terrible can happen, and I can always pick her up if she's being too awful. It's just embarrassing. And being English, we don't like to cause a scene. I used to live in Friendship, which is a very lovely neighbourhood. Lots of people have dogs. And walking her just got progressively more awkward, till it came to a peak one day. I was walking her, I could see another dog coming down the road towards me. She starts snarling, and her hackles come up. But she's only 25 pounds, so it's kind of cute, but she's barking, and I was a full-grown woman wrestling with a Chihuahua Terrier cross, and this woman across the road stopped. And obviously her dog sat down, because her dog's well behaved. And she just screamed at me, "Control your dog!" And I didn't know what to do. In England, we just mind our own bloody business. My lips started to tremble. I had a coughing fit. Tears started to fall down my face, and I just went, "I'm sorry! But she's a rescue!" And immediately her attitude changed. She went, "I am so sorry for everything she's been through. You are such a good person for giving her a second chance." And I haven't really given her a second chance. Her owner died and she came to live with me. She's fine. There's no history of abuse or trauma. In fact, the way she reacts going through drive-thrus, she's had a very cushy life. She had a few pup cups before she met me, is what I'm saying. But it got me thinking, why can't we do that with men? You're out with and all genders. We're not exempt from this, but I am thinking about my own partner here, and there's some recognition going on in the faces in front of me. If you're out with him, it's a party or a family event, and he's starting a conversation he really shouldn't. Found him wandering around Walmart all by himself. We've checked for a chip. He's not been married or anything. Instant sympathy. So what I want to, I'm going to leave you with that gem. I want you to take a look at the people you came in with tonight, because chances are you might be sitting next to your own rescue. And you all know who it is in the relationship. I'm Aaron, you are a fantastic audience.